Hello and welcome. This is Dennis Westman, your instructor for spreadsheet applications, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about Unit C in your textbook. As we have done with previous videos, go ahead and grab your book. Let's take it out and let's begin by looking at Unit C, which is covering formatting a worksheet, and the chapter begins on page 52. Now 52 starts by talking about formatting values. Now remember, values are things that you enter in like dollar amounts or dates that need maybe commas or dollar signs or those kinds of things. Most of the time values are going to be numbers and labels are going to be textual type items. And so in Unit C on page 52, it talks a little bit about different ways that you can format the different values, including when you're thinking about currency, you can format not only in US dollars, but you could do British pounds, you could do the euro, which is used over in the European Union, and you have the option or the opportunity to be able to select all different kinds of currencies. And honestly, almost all of the different types of formats that you can apply to values are highly customizable. So in various chapters and various assignments, you'll probably be asked to go one step beyond when going in and formatting values, because again, you can do some really neat things with formatting of values. So you'll follow along on page 52 and work through some things, and then on page 53 you'll have some examples of how you actually can go in and look at the type of format and then maybe some of the additional options related to that format. Now another item on page 54 deals with changing the font size. That's pretty straightforward. If you've used PowerPoint or Word in the past, this is going to look very familiar. Essentially, you select what you're wanting to apply formatting to, and then you go in and change the font size, which is going to be 10, 12, 14 points, and this is going to make it smaller or larger. And then you'll have an opportunity to change the font type, which is typically the actual name of the font, like Arial, Calibri, Times New Roman, Courier, those kinds of things. So page 54 talks a little bit about going in and making those kinds of modifications. Page 56 talks about font styles and alignment. Font styles are the different types of preset items, such as like bold, italics, and underline, which can apply the way your text and numbers look on the worksheet. And then alignment is essentially, aligning the text, whether it be left justified, right justified, center justified, full justification. And then there's a whole other set of items that you can do as far as alignments in Excel. That's a little bit more advanced, but you can align it to be at the top of the cell, the bottom of the cell, the middle of the cell. And you can even start rotating the text so that the text might be like this instead of like this. So it's pretty interesting, some of the different things that you can do related to font styles and alignments. And actually that rotation is talked about on the bottom of page 57 under the orange box that's entitled Rotating and Indenting Cell Entries. Very interesting, and you'll be asked to do that at some point. Adjusting column width on page 58 is pretty straightforward. There's a couple of ways you can do it. One of the easiest ways is looking at the division lines in the column headers. This would be like the little line between C and D and the little line between D and E and so on. You can move your mouse up to that and it becomes like a double-sided arrow, and you can actually move it from side to side and adjust the width of your columns. You can also go in and use the format option and change the column width that way as well. As with Excel, it's highly customizable. You can also change the row height, and that is at the bottom of page 59. So not only can you adjust the columns, but you can change how high each individual row is if you really want to customize your worksheet. Page 60 talks about inserting and deleting rows. Really straightforward, pretty easy. Right click on the row or column heading and you can select delete, or right click on the row or column heading and select insert. Bang, that's how easy it is. Now there's other ways that you can do it. You can go up to the insert menu, but I find right clicking on the row or column heading and selecting either insert or delete by far the easiest way to go in and add those. Page 62 talks about applying colors and patterns and borders. I'll let you go ahead and read through that, but really you can do much more with it than just simply having plain old text and values, labels, those kinds of things. Conditional formatting on page 64, that's a real interesting idea. So essentially with conditional formatting, if the condition is met, it will apply the formatting. That is really all that it means. So let's say, for instance, you want to apply conditional formatting that if the numbers in a certain range are 50 or higher, turn them green. If they're 49 or lower, turn them red. And so with conditional formatting, you can apply that so you don't have to manually change things to red or to green. It's very, very helpful. I use it almost all the time when it comes to formatting worksheets because I like things that are done automatically. And with conditional formatting, those things are handled automatically. And what's neat is you can apply multiple conditions to a spreadsheet and to different cells. And so you can have some really complex types of conditional formatting. So when you get to the point where you have multiple types of conditional formatting, you'll want to be able to manage them. And to do that, at the bottom of page 65 is a little box, a little orange box that talks about how to manage conditional formatting rules. Page 66 is renaming and moving a worksheet. Real straightforward. Right-click on the little tab down at the bottom. It says Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3. Select Rename. Or you can double-click on the little tab, and that allows you to actually type the name right there. To move a worksheet, single-click on the tab, holding your mouse button down, and just move it to the left or to the right, and that'll reposition that worksheet. Spelling, page 68, press F7. Pretty straightforward. You certainly want to be able to do that on turning in your homework assignments. Very, very, very helpful. Okay, that pretty much covers Unit C. As always, if you have any questions that are general in nature, you can post them to the general class chat in the discussion board. Otherwise, for very specific questions about you or your grade, feel free to email those to me. That's it for now. Thank you and have a great day.